What's up, guys? It's Doug here, and this video is going to be all about this iPad Pro. Now, this is the 11-inch model. It's got the M1 chip in it with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. I picked it up about 9 months ago now, and you won't believe how much this thing has exceeded my expectations. I bought it with the intent of using it for two very specific tasks, but it quickly became integrated into my everyday life. And now it's hard to imagine, living day to day without one of these things. Now, this is not going to be one of the typical product reviews where I talk about the technical specifications and how this tablet compares to other tablets that are already out there on the market. There's a lot of videos already out there that do that, and I actually watched quite a few of them to decide on the specific model of the tablet that I ended up buying. But instead of that, I'm going to focus on sharing exactly how I use this tablet every single day and why I say that it has exceeded my expectations. Okay, so diving right in. I want to start by sharing the two specific tasks that I actually bought this iPad to do. And the first is I wanted a device that I could do some modeling with so that I could 3D print some odds and ends that I needed around the house. Shaper 3D is a free modeling app for iPad that's already got a lot of tutorials and how-to videos already out there, which is why I was leaning towards the iPad over other tablets in the first place. The app does have Apple Pencil support, and my experience using this app has been just absolutely flawless. The hardware on this iPad handles this task with ease, and it's been such an enjoyable experience seeing these 3D models come to life. Now, the second reason that I intentionally bought this iPad was to help me take notes. My job requires me to be in a lot of meetings every day, and often I have to take notes during those meetings. I'm the type of person that remembers things better if I actually handwrite them down versus type them on a keyboard. But I still wanted these notes to be shareable across multiple devices, and more importantly, I wanted them to be searchable so that I could easily reference certain parts of them later down the road. The iPad works great for this. I can now convert all of my handwritten notes into typed script, which is then shareable across all my devices and searchable. So tasks 1 and 2 got a big check mark for me. Now I want to get into the unexpected benefits that I found with this iPad Pro. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this device has become integrated into my life, and I honestly use it almost every single day, which again, I found to be really surprising. Okay, the first one, which a lot of you may not find that surprising, but it really was to me, is how much I enjoy media consumption on the iPad versus my phone, which I've used for that for like decades now. So if I'm in the mood for scrolling through Facebook, browsing the internet, maybe watching a YouTube video, the iPad is now my go-to device. Like I could literally be sitting on the couch with my phone in my hand and choose to get up and go find the iPad in the basement or wherever it's located for any kind of media consumption. The other thing that I love about the iPad, which I didn't expect, is watching movies and streaming TV shows on it. We actually don't have a TV in our bedroom, and sometimes it's just really convenient to be able to grab the iPad and go lay in bed and watch whatever TV show we're into at the moment, rather than sitting out on the couch and staying up late at night. Now, after having the iPad for a few days, I started to look for some high quality apps, and I came across one called Procreate. I do enjoy sketching and editing photos, so I wanted to give this one a try. And while it's not a free app, I sincerely believe that it packs a lot of value for its relatively low cost. It's intuitive to use, and there's a ton of how-to videos and tutorials that are already out there that really help get you started. I've also found that this app is particularly helpful for creating the thumbnails for my YouTube videos. Of course, it has Apple Pencil support, and it helps flex that muscle, which brings even more value to that particular part of the investment. The next thing that I want to talk about is video calls. So I've always used my phone for personal video calls. And for work calls, I've always used my company laptop or my home office setup. That's always worked out well for me, but the iPad has been an absolute game changer in this arena. The quality of the camera on the iPad is superb. I get a much larger display for personal video calls, and I get a lot more flexibility for the work video calls that I have to be on. And here's what I mean by flexibility with my work calls. In my home office, I have a webcam that's mounted to the top of my monitor, and I have a separate microphone because frankly, the camera and the mic on my company laptop is terrible. Now, while my office setup yields a really high quality video call experience, it also ties me to my desk. There's some days where I'm in meetings for a majority of the day, and the iPad now allows me the flexibility to move around. So I can sit, outside on my patio, I can be in the kitchen, or wherever I find a change of scenery to be satisfying. Speaking of work, dealing with emails is not typically a fun task, but I have found that using the iPad for this is a much more enjoyable experience. Again, the portability keeps me from being tied to my desk. The Magic Keyboard works flawlessly, and at times when I really need to spend an hour or two focusing on getting my inbox cleared, I find that I have less distractions working on the iPad than I do with my work laptop, where I'm constantly getting, instant messages and all sorts of other notifications. All right, so there you have it. That is how I use this iPad almost every single day, and how I now understand why these things are so popular. I actually struggled justifying this purchase for a long time because I just wasn't sure exactly how much I would actually use it. The only regret that I have about this iPad is not getting the larger 12.9-inch version. My thoughts with the 11-inch model was that it would still be small enough to use one-handed, which, without ever having a tablet before, I thought would be valuable. I'm 6'1" and I have decent sized hands, and I can honestly tell you that the 11-inch model is not that usable one-handed. But I've also found that there aren't many instances where I actually want to use the device one-handed. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting the larger 12.9-inch version because not only would it make all of my use cases better, but you also get that nicer XDR display. So I hope this video was helpful to some of you out there that may be considering an iPad in the near future. I can honestly say that I'm glad I bit the bullet and finally got one. And to be honest, I don't know if I see myself without a tablet ever again. If you like this type of tech review, please let me know in the comments and subscribe to the channel to catch the next one. Thanks.